Hi everyone, Victor here again, and in today's lesson, we're going to be looking at the topic installing software on Linux systems. The way we install software on a Linux system is very much different from the way we install software on Windows system. In the early years of when the Linux operating system was invented, a lot of users that migrated to using the Linux operating system abandoned Linux and ran back to Windows or to wherever operating system they migrated from. And it was very understandable because when you decide to install a software you have downloaded from the internet, as soon as you try to install the software, you begin to see things like this package has a dependency, and then when you try to install the dependency, you see another error popping up that the dependency you want to install also needs another dependency. And then you try to install the dependency, and then you see another error that that dependency also needs another dependency. And just because you want to install one software, you might need about 10 to 30 dependencies, and all of these can be frustrating. So you tell me, if you were the one, wouldn't you just abandon the frustrating thing and continue to use your former operating system? So hence the way this problem was addressed was to introduce the use of a package management system. With a package manager, all the dependencies issues were addressed. Also, every Linux distributions have their own type of package manager. In series 1 of this course, I remember I explained explicitly what these are. So I'll be dropping the link to the documentation in the description box below. And I'll also be dropping the link to the exam practice questions in the description box below. So moving forward, for Red Hat systems and its derivatives, the package manager used to be RPM, then YUM, and now DNF. Though YUM is still in use but will be finally deprecated with time. And for Ubuntu systems and its derivatives, that is Debian and its derivatives, the package manager used to be apt-get, then aptitude, and now apt. Though apt-get and aptitude are still in use, but with time, they will also, or they might also be finally deprecated. Before we get to the action time section, it is also very important you understand that in the early years of when the Linux operating system was invented, software were also installed from the source code itself, which was always in the package format of tables, that is the TGZ. However, you can still download tarball files of source code for software and install them. An example of this was when I installed the OpenShift code ready container. So here's the link at the top right hand corner, and I'll also be dropping the link in the description box below. Yeah, installation from the source code is not common anymore, but then it can still be used. So basically, it always involves three steps, which are extract, compile, and install. When you extract, you see some number of files such as the dependencies, config files, the source codes, make files, and etc. Sometimes you would have to execute the config file and follow the three the processes rather, and sometimes you will also need to use the make command to compile the source code into an executable program, and sometimes too you would need to manually install some dependencies before compiling, and then you can install the software by using the command make install, or you can copy to the directory user local bin directory. And you should also know that installing or compiling programs from source code has its own drawbacks, and one of the drawback is that you wouldn't be able to update the program, unlike when a package manager is used to install a software, and that might be an issue for you as an administrator, especially when the risk and compliance unit is on your neck to update the software so as to address the security concerns in your network or environment. I am mentioning all of this because as a Linux administrator or engineer, there will be a time in your career where your only option to install a particular software will be to install it from the source code. Like I said, it's not very common anymore, but maybe probably once in 2 or 5 or 10 years, you would understand that you would need to install some particular software from the source code. And when you see software with the package format of tarbos, which is .tgz, you would have to understand that you need to install that software from the source code. And just like I've explained that there are 3 steps, which is extract, compile, and install. So those are just the basic 3 steps. Every packages or software have their package formats depending on the distribution you want to install the software on. For Red Hat system and its derivatives, programs are packaged up in the .rpm format, and for Ubuntu systems and its derivatives, programs are packaged up in the .deb format. So whenever you see a software packaged in this manner, that is with the .rpm extension, it simply means that this software is meant to be installed on a Red Hat system. And whenever you see a software packaged in this manner, that is with the .deb extension, it simply means that this software is meant to be installed on an Ubuntu system. Again, RPM is the tool that is used to interact with the .rpm files, and similarly, deb package is the tool that is used to interact with the .deb files. So let's get to the action time section for the Red Hat system, and let's see how we can install software. So on my Red Hat system, if I do ls, here is a software that we can install. Like I said, it has the .rpm extension, and the tool that it is used to interact with the RPM file is the RPM tool. So I can say RPM dash install. Then I'm going to install this software. The software or the package is Nano. So if I say enter, and now you can see that this has failed. And what is the reason behind this failure? If you look at it, saying error failed dependencies. It's saying that this package is needed by this package, right? So you can see the dependency issue I was mentioning while I was explaining earlier on, that the RPM tool doesn't resolve dependencies. So the only way we can, save ourselves from all these mess, which is trying to install dependencies upon dependencies, is to use the package manager to install the software. Thank God for the advent of package manager. How would I even run away from the Linux operating systems myself? So to use package manager, and of course, if you want to remove the files that you're trying to install with RPM, you can just say RPM remove the nano. Uh, so the package is not even installed already. So then, to use the package manager, I can just say DNF install nano, and I can say enter. Yeah, my system is not registered. You see that all the dependencies, there is no issues like dependencies because all the dependencies would have been resolved with the package managers. I'm just going to say yes to install. And then you can see that my system is installing the nano package. And now if I do nano, you can see that the package has been installed. So, so I can just exit from here. And with the package manager again, I said that it's going to install the latest package, though I am using um, a local repository in this case because I did not subscribe my Red Hat system, and you would understand what a Linux repository is when we get to the next lesson. And I also want to quickly mention that so you will not get it twisted, that RPM RPM is a low-level tool that is used to interact with the RPM files, and there's also a RPM tool that used to be a package manager before it was replaced by YOM and then DNF. So these two RPM tools are in a way completely different. More so with package manager, like I said, we can keep things updated. So having understood how to or the differences between the RPM files and having to use package manager to install software. Yeah, so this is where it stops for the Red Hat guys. And now we're moving to the Ubuntu section. So for the Ubuntu section here, so for Red Hat guys, yeah, this is where it ends. Of course, if you're interested in the Ubuntu section, you can continue. So this is my Ubuntu system, and if I do ls here, so this package with the extension .deb package is what we're going to install now. And like I said, the D package tool is going to be the tool that is going to be used to interact with the .deb files. And to install this package, I'm just going to say D package hyphen install the snap D tool. And if I say enter, and then you can see that I have errors. And when you look at my errors, if I have a lot of errors, but then if you look at this place, it's saying that dependency problems prevent configuration of this. And like I said again, that in the understanding the subject matter, I said that having to install too many dependencies can be frustrating. And then that's why we have the package manager, right? So to use package manager to install this software, so as to avoid all these dependency problems, we can just say apt get snapd. Oops, apt install snapd. See, sometimes I usually want to use the aptitude or apt-get or the apt-get package manager. Yeah, that's because that's old customs. We're used to it. These new things are you like, okay, things are changing. Okay, this is snapd. Just going to say snapd. Sometimes too on radar systems, I get to use Young too. So what issue are we having here? Reading packet, reading the present, blah blah blah. You might want to run. Okay, something is actually broken here. Something is actually broken here. All right, I'm going to say yes. So something is yeah. I mean, the snap. I actually removed the snap D package from my system, and I'm not supposed to do that because that package contains, a lot of packages with containers. And yeah, just because I wanted to explain this, you know, I just needed to remove it, but hopefully, let's see if you can install Snapd now. I have to install Snapd. Okay, I think we're having a headway. So should I pause the video so when this is done, we can continue? Okay, it's almost done. All right, so I can say okay. Which services do I want to start? Okay, we just say okay. No containers need to be restarted. All right. So I have the package installed already. I think I would rather use another example, another software for this example in future lessons or future courses. Yeah, so you can see the difference between installing packages, between installing a .deb package using the dpackage tool and then installing um, a software with the package manager. The package manager is going to resolve all the dependencies issues, while the deb package tool or the deb files, installing a single deb files might be frustrating, just like we've explained. More so, with package manager, we can keep things updated, right? Yeah, because when you install the package, the latest package for the software in the repository of that operating system version is going to be installed. And like I said, in the next lesson, you're going to understand, we're going to explain what a Linux repository is. And to get things updated too, we can just simply run the command apt update. So this is going to download the latest repository information in order to check out all the latest software updates that are out. So once we get the latest versions, once the latest versions are being found out, then we can use the command apt upgrade to keep the system up to date. So it's saying that 61 packages can be upgraded rather. And so then if I now say apt upgrade, so invalid apt upgrade. So it's saying that after this operation, I'm going to have 64.4 MB of additional disks is going to be used. So I can just say yes. So you can see the following packages that's going to be upgraded here, right? So I can say yes and say enter. So this is just going to keep the system up to date. And again, I must mention that so that's one of the differences or one of the difference between a Red Hat system and Ubuntu system. For the Red Hat system, that's for the DNF package manager, all you need to do is DNF upgrade and the repositories alongside with the packages is going to be upgraded up to date. You don't have to do it like how you're doing it here on Ubuntu, like you have to do apt update first and then you now do apt upgrade. But for the Red Hat system, you just do DNF upgrade. So it's just like a one-step thing. While for Ubuntu, is a it's a two-step thing. So if I say DNF upgrade, like I said again, I did not configure, I didn't subscribe this system. I was just using the local repository, and that's why this cannot be upgraded. But when we get to the next lesson, you're going to see how or what a repository is. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. When you do this, you encourage us to do more of those videos. And I'll see you in the next lesson, which is managing repositories on Linux systems. Thanks once more for watching, and bye for now.